Hello, and after a very short intro,
Yeah.
ready to go this afternoon and
Right.
happy to see whatever it is that the bush is offering us today. I don't think we were expecting
Yeah, that
that,
took
but
us all a bit by surprise.
and I love the intro because it's so cool and it's so edgy and it ends up with the lion roaring. So, well, in case you guys have missed it, please join us next Thursday and you'll be able to see the entire intro because it's a great thing to watch. My name is Ali and on camera with me
Cool. Ali, I don't know if you're still there. You've frozen on my screen, but I think you introduced me. So if I am still there, hello everybody. Okay, I might be back. I don't know if anybody can hear me, but my screen of Ali is frozen. Oh. Ali, I can see you. I can't hear you, but I can see you again, and you're
Oh
moving.
no, well, at least I'm also back. I hope can you hear me? Sorry, everyone. This is don't really
Cameron's
have an
all round.
explanation as to why the gods of the internet and all things technological doesn't like us today. But here we are. It is quite funny because today is actually Freedom Day. It's a public holiday in South Africa from wherever you might be watching. So I think maybe the show doesn't, wants to be on holiday today too. So
That's
why
as good
not?
a reason as any.
Okay, let's start again. So, we've introduced ourselves. So, we want to welcome everyone to the Wild Moments Show powered by Explorer.org. So, thank you everyone for joining us. I do know that there's a bunch of people that have been saying hellos. So, I will get through those ones before something else happens and, the show decides to go away somewhere else. Because, we don't actually know what's actually going to happen. All right. So we've got Rosa Torres Bravo. Hello from Houston, Texas. Well, hello, Rosa. Zygote. Hello, Ali Olivieri and Ben Coley. Huh, I like it when they call us by the full names. Don't even
Very,
know who that
very
person is.
official, right?
Yeah, I feel at least as long as it's not my full first name, then we're good. I can deal with the surname, just not the first name. Like that is only reserved for when I'm in trouble. We've got Dia and C. Good morning, Taylor and Ben. Sorry, I know I look very much like Taylor, but not quite. She is, however, sort of my other half. I am looking after her dog, and in the last stopping me, I was like, "Oh, Taylor, how you doing?" So I just nod, and I'm just like, "Yeah, we're good, thank you." So D-I-N-C. Please don't stress about it. I'm sure it was just a typo. Carolyn Morgan, hello from Renham, Texas. Oh, we've got a lot of Texans joining us today, which is nice because today feels like we're in Texas because it's 1 million degrees. Is it 1 million degrees by you, Ben? It's 1 million degrees by me. No?
Pretty much, yes. It's certainly not exactly autumn, which we're supposed to be in yet.
I've been complaining about summer and I want it to be over. And then I got a taste of winter about 2 weeks ago and I got scared. So now I'm scared to, voice my concerns out loud in case the universe finds me.
Well, there's been a
Gemma,
couple of cooler evenings, but no, of late it has been pretty toasty. I spent a night in a tent in Kruger last week, and it was pretty warm still.
I'm sure that was delightful. Gemma, you on the other hand, say good day from cloudy, damp New Jersey. I mean, don't know if I can do any more rain either. Doug and Kat Peary and Marvin. Hello from Goiás, Brazil. Well, hello. How you? Como está? And then Bob from Kalamazoo. Happy Thursday, Ali and Ben. Well, happy Thursday to you too, Bob from Kalamazoo.
Happy Thursday, straight back at you.
Yeah. So before the show decides to leave us and, as everything else happened, please remember this is live and interactive. So if it's your first time watching, you can send us all of your comments, all of your questions. There is something flying close to me. And we will be happy to answer it on live time. But if not, let's head over to our very first clip for the afternoon. This is just a little bit greedy. She's just had one.
She only
So
got
if
one
you guys
horn
are,
by the look of it.
yeah, if you guys are wondering, we're looking at springbok, which is South Africa's national antelope. However, it's not one of the most commonly found antelope around here. Definitely not in the area where Ben and I are located and where we do most of our guiding, but it is nice to see them even when they're being harassed. Are they coming back?
What have they got? There we go.
Okay,
Oh,
that's a
bit
brand
of a
new baby.
case of mistaken identity.
You know, it is very odd because, as you can see, so the baby
Hmm.
seems still pretty wet, so just a newborn baby. So the female definitely not interested in mating. But I wonder if it's maybe all of the hormones and pheromones and things that are floating around that this male is getting confused by.
I would think so. I can't even see the baby now. I assume the baby is where he is. But yeah, I can only imagine that, yeah, that's a bit of a hormonal soup going on there, and shame he's got a little bit confused.
Hormonal soup is a great expression. Run, little one, run.
But yeah, that's tiny still. I mean, I agree. I think that's only a few, well, I didn't want to potentially hours, maybe even less.
Yeah, because it looks very wet still.
Yeah.
I Very odd behavior. Like I've never seen anything like
Hmm.
it. I mean, obviously, we've seen males trying to mate with the females out of season and so on. But with a newborn baby, he's just confused. I don't know what cocktail he's having, but that's just very odd.
That's
I
no, I've
don't
never seen
see.
impalas do that or anything like
Yeah.
that. Certainly, males showing dominance to one another. But yeah, I think I, other than some strange hormones that's confused him slightly, she doesn't look too perturbed by it all. You'd have thought she'd be a bit more protective of it all. So I guess she didn't see anything aggressive in his actions.
No, and I mean, if we can maybe go back to the clip, because there's a portion where you can actually see her from behind, and I think you can still see blood. I mean, I saw some red on her back. I don't know if maybe that's the lie that it's hitting it, but it's just showing that it's quite a brand new baby. So if that is the case, then that would no, she's going the wrong way. But anyway, even so, like there, you see, there's a bit of a reddish tinge in there somewhere that just doesn't look about right. But maybe I'm imagining things. It has happened before. But as you know, the only thing that could be is that this male is just getting confused, doesn't know how to interpret potentially the overload of pheromones and just information that is probably overwhelming it. It is not common to see a male trying to mount a youngster. Definitely not something that you see every day. And as Ben was saying, I have only seen males trying to mount younger males or younger individuals as a sign of dominance. That happens in a bunch of different species, but never something this small. So something's just not right.
That's just a little bit unusual. As you said, potentially a younger male who's yeah a little bit overwhelmed, shall we say, by all the stimuli.
Potentially. So
Yeah,
Zygote
still
actually has a
staggering
nice.
around there. I agree that minutes.
Yeah, Zygote has an insight from us. He says that on the same camera a few months back, there was a male, potentially the same one, seen mom trying to do the same with baby. It's beyond my logic. So if it was the same male, maybe it's just this individual that is confused. I mean, I think sometimes we forget that animals are not chock-a-block and are the same thing. They do have their individual personalities. There are certain individuals that will do odd things that some of the other ones maybe don't do. But I think that might be the case. We've got one that is a bit of the odd one in the group, definitely. I don't know. I don't
The
know if
black
there's a
sheep.
particular reason, and I don't know if you have a different experience. But in my experience, never seen this before where a male tries to mount a baby that is this young or a youngster that is this young. Ben, I'm
Never,
gonna
never seen it
drop.
in terms of mounting, but I remember a YouTube video many, many years ago of a wildebeest mother that was sort of tossing its calf around after there'd been a leopard attack and the leopard had left. And the mother then sort of took it upon herself almost to obliterate her own offspring. But I think again that was probably because there were so many smells in the air and she was so confused. It's the only thing I can think of that I've seen, whether in person or on film somewhere or something like that. But I've never seen an antelope try and mount a newborn. No, strange.
No, that is very strange. So Kim Hee is wondering, would a male ever want to harm a baby? From a male perspective, Ben, what's your insight?
Put me on the spot, Ellie. Why not? Um, Only if it's not theirs. I can't see any reason why they would want to harm their own baby. Obviously, when they get a little bit older, if it's a territorial animal and they're like a lion, for example, chasing it out of their area, or any of the more territorial animals. And obviously, we know a lot of um, trying to think of the right word, not siblicide, but a lot of um,
Infanticide.
males trying to kill their offspring that are or offspring that are not theirs. Certainly, we see that in lion and leopard and things regularly. But I can't think of any reason why, unless there is some programmable thing in nature that if there was a defect or something. But that's the only. I mean, I'm really clutching at straws. But if there was some sort of genetic defect, perhaps. But I've never heard of it happening. No.
Yeah. No, I mean, not it's like I said, every now and again it might happen where a male would want to harm a baby. It can happen for sure. Males can harm the youngsters. They don't necessarily have this parental behavior as especially in sort of antelope as much as we see it with other creatures, but I really do think, as Ben is saying, that it's generally targeted towards offspring that are not their own. That's generally when you see a male trying to harm a baby. I think in this case, well, he was just confused. He didn't know what he was doing. I don't think there was
We'll
harm
just put it
involved.
down to a confusing day. Yeah.
You know, everybody's in. Maybe it was very hot. You don't know. Maybe the heat was getting to everyone. All right. While we leave that mail, there are a
Living
few more
swiftly
people
on.
that have joined us that have joined us on the show. Hopefully, after watching this very disturbing video, Robin, you're saying hello from Australia. Yan Powers, hello from sunny Arizona. Very much sunny like here. I don't know what word that was. Jasmine 57, you're saying hello from hot Arizona. 93 degrees there. I feel like it's about to hit spread. In
Hmm.
Kauru. I don't know if I'm saying that properly. I'm so sorry. It's amazing that the baby can run so fast, even though it was just born. Well, indeed, there are a lot of things that are going to try and catch you if you're a newborn. So the quicker you can stand, the quicker you can run, the better chance you actually have of making it past day one, which sadly a lot of the creatures don't. We've got Sija saying hi there. Amber, CEO, happy Thursday to all. Thank you for being here. Love this show. We love it too. Now,
Ah.
let's head on to the next clip that we've got. I will not be impersonating the following animal, but let's go have a look. We had a chat about it, and because Ben did a penguin impersonation, he wanted me to try and
It's definitely
impersonate the
your turn.
hornbill. I wouldn't even know how to. It's a very fierce battle.
Hmm. Amazing the spring they've got in those little legs. Huh?
Yeah, look at that. I mean, it must be nice when you can do like some sort of like kung fu ninja fighting, and then you can just flap your wings and you'll fly, and then you can do like, I feel like that's what we all want to do. No?
I don't know if they're scrapping over some food there. I mean, I'm trying to think if I've ever seen two hornbills properly going at it. I mean, obviously eagles do their talon grappling and things, but it's not normal to see hornbills fighting. But the other one went back there for something in the ground, so I don't know if it's just a particularly tasty morsel that the other one wants, or a very, very overzealous youngster that thinks it wants some food. Ooh, it's quite heated now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's, yeah, I don't know. They look about this is, I don't think I've ever seen them in real life fight this hard.
Mm-mm. No, a few
Also,
spats, but that's
they,
about it.
they have very sharp beaks as well. So although, some people call them names and say that hornbills aren't that impressive, I mean, I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end. They're doing a lot of damage to one another, even though if it doesn't look like it. I'm very shocked. I think we should have renamed the first part of this show as "The Confused Males in the Wilderness." It would have been a better, a better theme.
Who said they were males? Hang on.
Pretty sure. Pretty sure they were males.
That was strange. Right at the end,
They
you could
had
see there was something in one of them's mouth there. Right at the end, you just saw something
a,
sort of drop out in the last sort of 10, 20 seconds. I don't know if they're
yeah,
arguing. Oh,
regurgitated
that looked
something.
like a regurgitation of a seed or something, actually.
Yeah. I wonder if it because you see the
Yeah.
one on the right does it now too. Like straight afterward, it's almost like it also regurgitated
Mm.
something. So as you said, I don't know if maybe there
Stress
was
reaction.
something food wise that they both wanted, and maybe that's why they were having that big go at each other. But it's quite
Makes you
odd,
think
isn't
almost of
it?
like
It's
when a snake is in danger or something, and it'll regurgitate its last meal to facilitate a quick getaway. I wonder if there's anything in that of a stressful situation and just get rid of the last food that hasn't been properly digested yet.
yeah, maybe. I mean, it. I don't think it would be appropriate not to consider that option, considering the both of them do it at the same time, and they've had a pretty hectic
Hmm.
go at each other. So it's
Yeah, well,
funny.
you've picked another random, unexplainable clip for us. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, I like it when that happens, and you're just like, oh, let's see what's happening, and then you're like, I've never seen this before. I don't know what's going on.
No, don't know what to say.
I think that's why I love it. And no
And it
joke, this
just
is why
goes to
I love
show they can get
camera
quite
shots so
vicious.
much. No, and I like that, maybe this is not the type of behavior that if we were observing in the real world that we would be able to see. But because it's a camera and they're used to it, they just let us see their random selves, which is very nice. Kaoru, you're saying these two were hilarious. I agree with you. I'm a bit concerned about, what's going on in the minds of the animals in the wild. And Sagat, you said there's a food war going on. Definitely one of the possibilities. If not food, then some sort of dominance. Because I don't know. The one on the right did seem to be a little bit smaller than the one on the left. Even the bill seemed just a tad smaller. So I don't know if, as you were saying, maybe there's a youngster that's believing that it's getting too big for its own back or for its own legs, or if it's just a matter of just two guys just having a fight. It is pretty
Blowing
vicious,
off a
though.
little bit of
Even
steam. Yeah. I also thought
yeah,
there was a
two.
bit of a difference in the plumage, but having looked at that again, they do look equally sized. I thought one of them had slightly more greyish plumage, which might have suggested a youngster, but in that little clip where we saw again, they looked very similar. But yeah, they would be my two only assumptions. Either there's as who's the zygote to describe it as a food war. I think that's a good way to
Yeah.
describe it. Yeah, or a youngster too big for his feathers, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe that's it. And just for, for the sake of being fair, this would be my impersonation of the hornbills. They just went like this and then just like this. So I feel like
Genius.
Ben, thank you. Chose my battles well. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. That being said, oh, we've got another funny video, and I do hope that it's a male because it's a baboon sleeping at Oliphant River, and it's a resident troop. So let's go have a look, see if maybe it is another confused male. I actually don't know. Haven't seen the clip yet. I mean, what is happening?
I'm
Ben,
sure I've
it is
probably
a
adopted a similar pose.
male. The one on the left
It does look
definitely a
like a
male.
boy.
The one on
It
the
does look
right
like
might
it.
be female. But
One on
I
the right
actually
just looks like she's given up.
how it's quite something being able to sleep on top of a tree and look like that and make it look comfortable and actually have a sound sleep. I don't know how they do it.
Amazing how they
Yeah,
don't fall off. You'd think one little shift of weight and that would be that.
you'd think so, but look at the one in the
That's a
middle. So
youngster.
not the one that's nursing the one on the right, the one in the, how is it hanging like that? How do they do it? It's amazing, it's obviously there's a lot of muscle memory and but I mean, and they
Mm.
wedge themselves in there properly, but that's just amazing. I mean, even the arm is down.
It's such a thin little branch as well. I mean, it's
They
such a
try to
tiny
push the
branch
other
to be
one
able
out.
to hold your balance on. Oh,
It is quite amazing that they actually, and baboons and sort of monkeys and leopards, the way they just hang out in trees, to me will always, just defies logic. I think it's quite funny. Tim, you're wondering if baboons ever drop their babies out of the trees. Well, I've never seen it. I have seen babies drop by themselves out of free will, but generally, baboon babies in particular, they learn how to grip and hold on to their mothers pretty much from the second that they're born, and they just hold on so tightly that there's no way that they're going to let go unless something happens, which, if maybe there's a leopard or something running after them on a tree, it could happen. They might just drop their baby by accident, but I think is not something that happened regularly. Don't know if you have experienced otherwise, Ben.
No,
I
I've
don't.
never. I agree. They will take death-defying leaps out of a tree, but I don't think I've ever actually. I don't think I must have seen one lose its balance at some point, but I don't recall. I agree with those babies. I was going to say the same thing. I mean, from day one, they grip onto mum's stomach. Mum runs around all over the place. Their grip strength compared to ours is completely different. I know it's not like a bird, obviously, which when it sits, it sort of automatically grips on. But I think there must be some sort of unconscious, um, yeah, ability to just grab tight, probably even whilst asleep as well.
Yeah. I worked in a wildlife rehabilitation center years ago, and every now and again we would get the odd baboon or monkey that was, the mother was killed or something, and they used to come into this rehabilitation center and then were moved to a primate center. And they always grip onto the mothers. And oh my god, I just remember hair being pulled out of me because the monkeys or the baboons would sit on top of you, and then if you had to move them for whatever reason, you would have to take half of your head with you because they just gripped on so tight that it was impossible to get them off of you. It was not an experience I recommend to other people. I refused to look after primates after a while because they were just not fun for me anymore. Um,
Well, I was just
Karu,
amazed that
you're
he was
saying,
able to balance that branch. Was probably, sorry, I was just saying that that branch was probably only about that size. Where am I? I'm trying to orientate to the camera. And to be able to balance on that and not lose, that's incredible. Eh?
yeah.
Look at that. I
Well,
mean, that
this is
is the
actually
size of.
pertinent because Karu is saying like they are funny. LOL. I don't know how they do it. Is that good? You're saying a leopard wouldn't wait below for a baboon to fall off if you ask me. No, no. I
Hmm.
don't even leopards don't have that much of a patience to just wait for a mother to drop a baby baboon. They much rather go up and hunt the mother. Although leopards have, let's say, a healthy respect for baboons because baboons have very sharp, big teeth, canines particularly. So, not a lot of things actually mess with baboons, to be honest. They're just very fierce creatures. So, alrighty, I think having done this, there is an impala running around in Baluli. And apparently, this is a confused female Ben, so the show is helping you out a little bit. Let's go and have a look. I'm
Equality.
hoping it's a male.
Equality.
I'm just hoping it's a male. Ah, you see what's happening. Shame girls. Oh, we're going crazy.
I think to me that just looks like a joyous day, really.
Yeah, I mean, on the previous part of the clip where you can hear that there was that snorting, the
And
rutting
did you hear
season has started, and I've started seeing a lot of male impala just going crazy and running after females, and then generally when they go crazy, that they make them run all around. But in this part of it, they just seem to be doing their own
Yeah,
thing.
strange with that stotting behavior as well as almost. Oh, there is a male there on the other side of the having a drink, but doesn't seem too
Oh
bothered
yeah.
by anything. But yeah, stotting behavior is often for predators, unless I don't think I've ever seen it before, but unless there are, females would be displaying their prowess to the dominant male. But I have never seen or heard of that happening in antelope species. But well, just a little bit of extra energy, maybe. But yeah, it was nice being in Kruger recently and actually hearing all the snorting again from the impalas. It's very much kicking off again for this year.
Oh yeah. So all of that snorting that you're hearing is generally the males that make those noises because the mating season for the impala is now. So the males are fighting each other, advertising, as you were saying, their prowess and how big and fit they are, and that every other male should be scared of them, and they get very hectic and they chase females all around. And then it's not uncommon to actually see the females run away from the males when they go into this crazy moments that they get until everything calms down and so on. But so much of the stutting and as you were saying, it's generally predator related or predator induced behavior unless they're trying to show off to something else. But it is the confused people today, the confused wilderness today. I don't know.
I didn't hear any snorting
My
on there, but I'm not sure if I had audio on my side. I didn't hear any sound there. But if there was another male, it's possible. Maybe there were two males off in the distance
could be.
somewhere that were chasing one another around, and that had just sort of caused a little bit of I would say dissension in the ranks. That's not the right word, but a little bit of confusion, a little bit of sort of allomimetic behavior, a bit of excitement that's being passed on to other animals.
Yeah, and Impala are very good that way. One panics and runs, and then the rest of them just run just in case because you never know who's chasing you and what's after you. So, okay, you can take this one, Ben. Confused girls for you too. So I think we've got
It makes me
time
feel
for.
better that it's not just us.
Well, you are very welcome. It was very confusing though, because I don't know what's happening other than, as you were saying, maybe two males that we couldn't see on the camera making all of the girls run around and go crazy. And then after that, they were hyper for a while. But we do
Yeah,
have
I think
time
we
for
also have a
one more.
tendency. Oh, we're going good. So I was just saying, sometimes they do have a tendency. I've seen them before. They just skip around, and I'm sure it's just for fun. I mean, we like to sort of find a reason for everything. I see no reason. Maybe they were having a good day. They've got water. It was plenty of food around. Maybe they were just blowing off some steam, and we must just sort
Yeah.
of appreciate what it was, a little bit of enjoyment.
Yeah, well, it's also I try to look, but it's hard with the camera and size relation. But always, it's the youngsters
Mm,
also that like playing, and one starts running and the other one does it. So if maybe it was a bunch of like
mm,
yearling females, they could have been the ones doing that, and or as you're saying, they could have
mm.
just been doing it because they're having fun. Why not? Who says animals cannot just do things for fun? They do.
Exactly.
So I think we're going to have to say that this was the male confused wilderness show because we're going to head off to our last clip of a creature that is very, very hard to determine if it's a male or a female. So I think the judges have spoken. Let's go have a look at the tiny baby crocodile at the rock pools. Oh, hello. Please be confused too because this would be great. Doesn't matter what you are.
Oh.
That is very tiny.
Yeah, difficult to get a sort of a size perspective, but you can. I imagine that's not much longer than what, 30 centimeters, maybe a touch more.
No. This is the glorified lizard. Let's call it that.
Strange to just see one actually. Normally, whoop, it might be. It wouldn't be unusual to see a couple of them at that size.
Team, you're wondering what would eat a baby croc? Well, plenty of things actually, and starting with other crocs, bigger crocs. Eagles, martial eagles, crocodiles,
Monitors.
barbels, monitors, big barbels, big catfish. Um, leopards, if they had them, I'm sure they would too. Maybe a water mongoose in some areas. What else? Generally, everything that is small is at risk of being eaten by something else. So this guy is actually being very clever, and you see he's just playing around in the rock pool. So it's come to an area where there's not a lot of free water, probably not other big crocodiles around. It's actually a perfect spot to hide in, and then just spend the night. Where are you going? We're telling that you shouldn't be going out into the bigger water.
Mm-mm. I didn't see such a small one actually, because so they do form those little creches to begin with. So I think this is very recently gone off to explore the big bad world. And so according to the literature, I can't say it for sure, but isn't it 1 out of 50 crocodiles make it to adulthood? Because of all those things that want to take them out, certainly.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
it is pretty amazing. I mean, it's maybe it was getting confused. If we really want to stretch the new theme of the show and going into the flowing water, it would have been safer
Confusion.
for it to stay where it was. But I think that was pretty interesting. As always, very interesting conversations. And Kirst has a knack for choosing things that are very unusual and strange, which just always keep us on our toes, which is a good thing. But having said that, I think we've reached the end of our show. So thank you everyone for joining us today. We've had a lot of fun watching all of the confused animals in the wilderness.
We will again try and think about it for a while and see if we come up with any great explanations.
We can only hope. But thank you everyone for joining us. And then we will see you all next week, Thursday, at the same time, at the same place.
Thanks, everyone.